And I often used to think that it was a bit of a placebo effect, that if you tell athletes you're the best looked after, best cared for, no excuses, the food's great, the bed's great, all of these guys around you, that's the amazing mechanic over there, that press officer there is brilliant. I think that helps. I really do.
Yeah, agreed.
And this is what the riders often say to me. We ride for the best team. It helps, right? Puff your chest out. So I think there was a bit element of that. But what is he bringing to United? What does he bring to anyone now? If we sort of assume that that's all kind of out there, everyone's kind of studied that and law of diminishing returns and all that. I think, and I did actually talk about this at the time, to be fair, the real Team Sky, the real Team Sky story was they had a big budget. It really was. They had a massive budget. It was not a David Goliath story. It was British Cycling. They had a massive budget. They were the Man United. And so he attention to detail, big budget. He's good at recruitment. I have to caveat that by every now and then he hires an absolute shocker that, possibly causes him some trouble. But he does actually, he has an eye for talent, and he's a workaholic. He's an absolute workaholic. Everyone will say that about him. Everyone says in elite sport they're driven. I want to win. He really is. I mean, it's like obsessed. It's like losing. He doesn't want to lose, which I think is even more powerful. And he attracts people like that, and he inspires confidence in people. So he's handled big budgets. He's got an eye for talent. He's got this attention for detail. To be fair, I find myself saying to be fair to him quite a lot these days, because sometimes you can swing too far the other way. I actually think he's going to be quite good at Man United. I really do. But there's a lot of stupidity in football, and
he's starting off a low base based on the last decade.
Too right. I think he'll. Now, whether he's going to be successful for 10, 15, 20 years, I couldn't tell you. But I think he'll
get them in shape.
He's going to give. Yeah, too right. Now, I think this work ethic is interesting. But so the thing I was going to say is that even towards the end of the sort of good bits at Sky, he wasn't talking so much about marginal gains. He'd moved on to like this sort of culture and that, and he'd often like talk about
I
know it does, and the All Black stuff. Right, and empowering people, and this is what he's talking about more now. So that quote you mentioned, people can actually find that as a podcast if they like. He's done a few really kind of esoteric leadership type high performance podcasts, and he talks about that a lot. I've actually moved away from data. You almost assume data is a thing now, but I'm actually now more about culture, people. Which is why in that quote he talks about manners. Now that's really interesting because that massively chimes with Ineos. They're a really good partnership, actually. Ineos are kind of an odd bunch, high-performance guys. Radcliffe is a fascinating guy. He's obsessed. He's got that sort of old-fashioned British manners thing, and it being important and smiling and a bit of a joke, but being incredibly driven and hardworking and focused. It's sort of Victorian, So that now, if you put all that together, right? We're going to have a big budget. We're going to hire the best people, like genuinely, not just say it. We might get it wrong, but that's our intention, to always hire the best. I'm going to work my nuts off. I'm going to expect people around me to work their nuts off. We're going to have a nice, lean, clear, you report to him, and we're going to actually hold you to account. How did your department do? Lines of command. And lots of stuff could go right back to the beginning of British cycling. He used to talk about, what was his phrase there? Ruthless something or other. Charming ruthlessness? No, something. Compassionate ruthlessness. Basically, if you've got to go, I'm not going to duck the conversation. You're out the door. Right? And he would sort of say, well, the compassionate bit is I wouldn't twist the knife. I would tell you straight. I'd look you in the eye, and I would do it in a way where we would both sort of shake hands and away you go, and it would be good for the group. So there is no tolerance of bad performance. If I'm a Man United fan, and Man United fans have said this to me, it's like, oh, that sounds all right.
Yeah.